She's just a janitor's daughter. What did she possibly do? That's what everyone thought until a 7-year-old girl walked into a billion-dollar boardroom, spoke flawless French, and saved a deal that was about to collapse, armed with nothing but her voice and a ribbon in her hair. But what started as a desperate last-minute fix soon uncovered a hidden family legacy, a fortune, and a secret that shook even the toughest investors. Stay with me, because what this little girl reveals next will change everything you think you know about ambition, power, and where true strength comes from. Logan Whitman stood frozen, gripping the edge of the polished mahogany table like it was the only thing keeping him grounded. Outside the glass walls of Whitman Technologies on the 42nd floor, the city hummed like any normal Friday morning. But inside that boardroom, Logan's entire future was about to unravel. His phone glowed with a text he'd hoped never to see. Thomas can't translate today. Food poisoning. Sorry. No backup. No alternatives. Every translator in San Francisco was booked or out of reach. This meeting was everything. For 18 months, Logan chased this deal late-night Zooms, weekend research marathons, rewritten proposals stacked high. This wasn't just business. It was personal. He built this AI platform from his garage after losing his little sister to leukemia that no one caught in time. This tech could revolutionize pediatric diagnosis worldwide. But the investors, two of Europe's most powerful men, William Whitmore and Thomas Carter, spoke only French. No exceptions. Should we cancel? Jessica, his assistant, asked quietly, worry in her eyes. No. Logan snapped before catching himself. It's today or never. They leave tonight. Then, just as panic started to take hold, something broke the silence, a child's voice, singing softly in perfect French. Turning the corner, Logan found her crouched beside a janitor's cart, a little girl no older than 7, with neat braids tied by a yellow ribbon. Her worn sneakers peeked out beneath her dress as she calmly organized spray bottles and cloths, humming the same French lullaby Logan's mother used to sing. "Excuse me, sweetheart," Logan said gently, kneeling down. "What's your name?" "Emily Brooks," she replied, eyes wide but steady. "My papa's fixing the lights downstairs. I'm helping with this." Jessica caught up, gasping as Emily effortlessly switched into flawless French, naming every cleaning product like a seasoned pro. Logan blinked. This couldn't be real. "Emily, do you speak French fluently?" She smiled proudly. "Oui, monsieur. Mama was from Quebec. She read me bedtime stories in French before she went to heaven. Papa says I should keep practicing so she'd be proud." Jessica covered her mouth, overwhelmed. Logan swallowed hard, then carefully asked, "Would you be able to help us talk to some very important people from France?" Emily sat up straighter, eyes shining. "I love helping. Mama always said kindness is the most important thing." Jessica handed her documents dense with legal jargon and business terms, words Logan still stumbled over in French. Emily took them like treasures, furrowing her brow. "Strategie commerciale means business strategy, right? An investissement is investment," she said, sounding out each phrase. Mama played word games with me from her finance magazines. Logan and Jessica exchanged stunned glances. This was no coincidence. Just then, the elevator dinged open. 2 men stepped into the lobby. William Whitmore tall, aristocratic, and Thomas Carter, nicknamed the Executioner for crushing weak pitches with a single glance. Their eyes locked on Emily, disbelief etched on their faces. "What is this?" Whitmore asked, eyebrow raised. "You bring a child to an $800 million investment meeting?" Carter barked. "Is this a joke?" Logan opened his mouth to explain, but Emily stepped forward, not timid, not scared like a diplomat. In perfect Parisian French, she addressed the room with calm confidence. The stunned silence that followed was electric. Whitmore's jaw dropped. Carter's skeptical sneer faltered, replaced by something resembling admiration. Then, inexplicably, they smiled. Emily took her place at the table, tiny in a massive leather chair, her yellow ribbon a quiet badge of courage. Jessica smoothed her dress and whispered, "You've got this." William and Thomas sat back, their business armor cracking as Emily flawlessly translated Logan's pitch, his vision of AI saving children's lives, every medical term, every statistic with clarity and heart. When William questioned data privacy under strict European laws, Emily didn't flinch. She rephrased Logan's answer with such nuance that Thomas nodded in approval. But it wasn't just her skill. Every time Logan spoke about saving lives, Emily's face softened, her voice barely trembling as she translated. Real emotion, real connection. Then, without prompting, Emily looked the investors in the eye and said in French, "If this computer had existed when my mama was sick, maybe she'd still be here. Maybe another child wouldn't have to cry themselves to sleep missing bedtime stories." The room fell utterly silent. William finally spoke softer than before, in English this time. "Your mother passed away from illness?" Emily nodded, eyes glistening. "Breast cancer. It spread too fast. But she told me to keep learning to help those who need it." Logan said nothing. Emily's words were the most powerful argument he'd ever heard. The atmosphere shifted, the walls between business and humanity crumbled. Then came the offer. Thomas leaned back, voice cold but measured. "We will invest $50 million in the first round," Emily translated, "but want 40% equity and full operational control in Europe." Logan's heart sank. That much control meant surrendering everything: his vision, his team, the soul of the company. He opened his mouth to refuse, then Emily raised her hand. "Excuse me," she said gently in French. "May I ask a question?" Whitmore and Carter exchanged surprised looks, but nodded. "When you were boys," Emily asked softly, "did you ever have a dream so big it scared you, but you knew if it came true, it could help people who were hurting?" Neither man answered at first. Then William admitted, "I wanted to build schools in my village, but people laughed. I dreamed of better medical technology where I grew up." Thomas added quietly, "We lost my uncle because there wasn't even an X-ray machine." Emily nodded. "That's how Mr. Whitman feels now. He has a dream to help people. He just needs someone to believe in it the way you believed in yours." Logan's throat tightened, his vision blurred. William leaned forward, eyes twinkling. "Emily, how old are you?" 7. "You may be 7, he said, "but you've done more to convince us than any CEO in years." Turning to Logan, he continued, "We'll invest $200 million, but want only 20% equity. Your dream is too important to own. It has to be shared." Before Logan could react, Thomas added, "One condition: Emily becomes our youth ambassador. When we launch in Europe, we want her to tell this story herself. The world needs to hear it." Logan knelt beside Emily. "Do you understand what this means? They're giving us everything because of you." She smiled, then paused. "What does an ambassador do?" "You speak for the people. You tell the world why this matters." Tears shimmered in Emily's eyes. "I want to be the ambassador so no other kid has to lose their mama like I did." As final signatures were signed and Jessica rushed off to call legal, Logan sat back, staring at Emily, who walked in holding a mop handle, but was walking out holding the future of the company and hope for every sick child. Did this little girl move you too? Would you trust a 7-year-old to speak for something bigger than all of us? 2 weeks later, Emily Brooks had changed the course of Whitman Technologies with nothing but her voice and story. The media called her the girl who saved a company, and her name swept across social media like wildfire. Inside Logan's office, things felt calm. Emily curled in a velvet chair, practicing her French speech with a coach sent by Thomas Carter. Her voice floated steady, confident, warm. Logan watched in quiet awe, remembering how close he'd come to losing everything and how this tiny girl faced billionaires like they were just people needing to be reminded how to feel. But that morning, everything shifted again. "Mr. Whitman," Jessica's voice crackled over the intercom, tense. "Someone's here to see you. It's urgent. It's about Emily." Logan stood. "Send her in." The woman who entered carried the quiet authority of a seasoned boardroom veteran, silver hair swept back, intense blue eyes scanning the room. "I'm Helen Whitmore," she said, extending a hand. "William Whitmore's wife." Logan blinked. "Mrs. Whitmore, what brings you here?" Helen's gaze shifted to Emily, standing quietly by her chair. I came because of her and something William told me after the meeting. Something that shook him to his core. Emily tilted her head. Are you here to help with my speech? Helen opened her purse and pulled out a worn photograph. Emily stepped forward, eyes narrowing. The photo showed a young woman, laughing, radiant, standing beside a grand white house. Emily's breath caught. That's my mama, she whispered. Helen's voice trembled. Her name was Grace Whitmore. She was my niece. She left our family 20 years ago after a fight with her father William's older brother. He didn't approve of the man she loved. She left everything behind. We never found her until now. Logan stood frozen. You're saying Emily is a Whitmore, the last living heir to a family estate, including a children's hospital in Oregon, a trust fund over $50 million, and a legacy we thought lost. Emily sat slowly, clutching the photo. Helen continued softly. Your mama was protecting you. But now the world knows your name, and it's time you know the truth about who you are. Jessica appeared with Daniel Brooks, Emily's father, boots dusty from the basement, eyes wide at the revelation. Grace never said a word, Helen said gently. She loved you. She gave it all up, but we never stopped hoping she'd come back. And through Emily, she has. Outside, the weight of the news spilled over. Reporters gathered, cameras flashing. The internet buzzed with stories of the lost Whitmore fortune and the janitor's daughter, who was its heir. Daniel pulled Emily close. We need to get you out of here. No, Helen said firmly. You need to protect her, but don't hide her. Emily has already changed the world once. Don't let fear stop her from doing it again. That night, in a private room above Grace Memorial Hospital, the very hospital Grace Whitmore had vowed to support before disappearing, the group sat around the table with Emily at the head. They didn't talk money. They talked purpose. Helen revealed a final surprise. Emily's great-grandfathers will included a clause if Grace returned or had children. The hospital would be theirs to care for. Emily looked down at her small hands. You mean I could help her in a hospital for kids? Logan smiled. Not today, but one day. Right now, you could be the bridge bringing this life-saving AI tech to the doctors who need it. Emily's eyes shone. Then I want to start tomorrow. 6 months later, the renovated hospital opened its pediatric AI wing. Emily stood at the podium, her braid tied with the same yellow ribbon her mama wore, her father in the front row, tears glistening. My name is Emily Brooks, she began, switching between English and French. I lost my mama to a disease no one caught in time. But today, I stand where other children might get to keep their families whole. This computer behind me doesn't just read charts, it reads hope. It gives doctors a chance to stop heartbreak before it begins. The crowd sat stunned. Then she added softly, if anyone ever tells you you're too small to make a difference, just remember I was 7 when I helped change the world. Applause thundered through the hall. Later, in Logan's office, Emily sat quietly eating a cupcake. Mr. Whitman, she said, licking frosting from her finger. Do you think Mama saw all this? I think she never missed a second, he replied. And just like that, the girl who held a mop bucket became the girl who carried a legacy, giving it away freely, one life-saving miracle at a time. Now, let me ask you from the heart, do you believe kindness and courage can come from the smallest voices? Do you think a child like Emily deserves to be heard around the world? If this story touched you, drop a comment with the number 100 below. Tell me where you're watching from, maybe drop your country's flag. And if Emily's story moved you, share it with someone who still believes in miracles, because sometimes that's all it takes to change everything.